remember the day I stood at the edge of my dreams, the skyline of New York City shimmering in the golden light of dawn. My name is Helena Montez, and I am 35 years old. A senior bank executive with ambitions that stretch far beyond the walls of my office. I grew up in a small town where the only thing people dreamed about was getting out. I worked my way up from I had fallen in love with Mark, a charming man with a smile that could light up the darkest of days. We shared late-night conversations over glasses of wine, our dreams intertwining like the vines on the terrace of my apartment. It felt like I had finally found a partner who understood my drive, who appreciated my ambition rather than shunning it. But love has a way of blinding us to the truth. I remember the night he proposed. It was on the rooftop of a swanky restaurant. The city sprawled beneath us like a glittering sea. I could feel the warmth of his body beside me, the excitement in his voice as he slid the ring onto my finger, a perfect diamond that sparkled like the possibilities before us. I was floating, lost in the whirlwind of emotions that came with saying yes to a future together. But as our wedding day approached, something shifted. The glimmer of excitement began to dull, and the shadows of doubt crept in. I noticed Mark's eyes wandering, his late nights becoming more frequent, his phone always just out of reach. I wanted to trust him, to believe in the love we had built, but the whispers of betrayal began to echo in my mind. One fateful evening, I decided to confront him. My heart raced as I stood in our living room, the scent of jasmine from the candles I had lit filling the air, a stark contrast to the tension that hung between us. With every word I spoke, I could feel the walls crumbling, my heart shattering at the thought of losing everything I had hoped for. "Mark, are you still in this with me?" I asked, my voice trembling as I searched his eyes for the truth. He hesitated, and in that moment, I knew. I could see the guilt written all over his face, the way he turned away, unable to meet my gaze. He had betrayed me, not just as a fiancé, but as a partner in this journey of life. The hurt cut deep, a wound that felt as though it would never heal. I could have let it consume me, could have curled up and allowed the pain to swallow me whole, but I chose a different path. If you love Helena's journey, like and subscribe to join her next chapter. Instead, I decided to channel that betrayal into something more powerful. I poured my energy into my work, using the pain as a catalyst for my ambition. I became an unstoppable force in the banking world, my name whispered in the same breath as the titans of finance. I climbed higher and higher, my heart hardened by the betrayal, my resolve forged in the fires of heartbreak. I was no longer just a senior bank executive. I was a woman on a mission. I made strategic moves, investing in projects that others deemed too risky, turning the tables on those who had doubted me. I could feel the winds of change at my back, pushing me toward a future I had crafted with my own hands. But as my career soared, so did the whispers of my past. Mark resurfaced, trying to weave his way back into my life, claiming he had changed, that he was ready to be the partner I deserved. But I had learned the hard way that trust was not easily rebuilt. I refused to be a victim of my own heart again. Instead, I took control of my narrative. I called a meeting in my office, a gathering of influential board members and industry leaders. Mark sat across the table from me, a shadow of the man I once loved, his eyes betraying the desperation he felt. I presented my proposal. I had turned my pain into power, my heartbreak into a strategy. Justice was served cold that day, not just for me, but for every woman who had ever been underestimated. I reclaimed my worth, my ambition shining brighter than ever before. The betrayal had fueled my fire, And I emerged stronger, more resilient, and more determined to succeed than ever. I realized then that love could be a double-edged sword, but it was up to me to wield it. And as I gazed out at the skyline, the city that had once felt so intimidating now felt like home, a testament to my journey and the obstacles I had overcome. I was no longer just Helena Montez, the girl from a small town. I was a name that commanded respect and admiration. I had built my empire from the ashes of betrayal, and I was ready to take on the world. The taste of victory was sweet, and as I raised a glass to toast my success, I knew this was just the beginning. Join me on this journey of resilience, ambition, and the power of reclaiming one's narrative. Stay tuned for the next chapter of my story, where the stakes are even higher and the rewards even greater.